12th, 2022. Thank you, Esther. Next slide, please. Please keep your microphone on mute. You may unmute when you need to speak. Use the chat box for questions or comments. This meeting is being recorded. And I said it once before, but if you feel more comfortable typing in a question to one of the admin for this group, feel free to do that. We can speak your question for you. That way your voice still gets heard. Next slide, please. There is an interpretation channel if you would like for Spanish interpretation, and that would be accessed by clicking the globe at the bottom of your screen. This is your story and your voice. Our Somos DLI monthly meeting. I'm Ashley Peak. I'm your Somos DLI president. I started this group along with my fellow parents, Allison Urungary, who's not with us tonight, as she is our secretary. Jackie Maria, who is here tonight, is our Somos vice president.
Good evening, parents.
And we could not be a group without our wonderful administrators that work with Riverside Unified School District, and they are Esther Garcia, our coordinator for English learners, TK through 12th. Would you like to say hi, Esther?
Yes, I was trying to find the mic, sorry. It changes when I'm recording. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are excited to have this meeting once a month for Somos DLI. Thank you so much again for being here and for your support for our program.
And last but not least, we also have Patricia Thetford, our teacher on special assignment. That's what TOSA stands for dual language immersion, K through 12.
Good evening, everyone. I am really happy to be here with you today, and thank you for your support. We're glad to see you here.
Our agenda tonight consists of the Riverside Arts Academy will be with us to speak on programs that they offer. We also have an exciting opportunity about Footsteps to Brilliance, which is I guess a learning platform. I'll call it that. We have updates from our DLI group, and then time for our open Q&A at the end. And if you are new here, just some basic ground rules and understanding. Somos means we are. The goals of Somos DLI are to provide resources to DLI families to ensure success, to foster communication between school sites, parents, and district, to enhance engagement of all stakeholders, which includes students, parents, families, educators, administrators, to encourage ideas and opportunities for students, and to help develop roadmaps for families. Considering this program is a 13-year commitment from kindergarten all the way to the end of high school. We all need that directional help. All right, and without further ado, I would like to introduce Riverside Arts Academy. Tonight we have Dr. Nove De Palan and Molly Brooke Becker with us. Dr. De Palan is an award-winning conductor in not only the US, but also in Europe. He has a doctorate of musical arts in orchestral conducting from the University of South Carolina. And I just read that he was also a marathon finisher for LA. Good job, that's awesome. Dr. De Palan and Molly, it's yours.
Okay, thank you so much for having us tonight. So my name is Molly Brooke Becker. Dr. Nove should be on here in just a moment. He was just finishing a class at 6 o'clock. So I'll just go ahead and start, and then I'll let him take over when he gets here. So would you actually mind going ahead on one slide, please? Thank you. Okay, so this is the part I would like to talk about because for those of you who don't know me, I am also a parent of kids in the dual language immersion program. My kids are in 5th grade and 2nd grade now, so we've been in it for a little while, and we love the program. My husband and I are not Spanish speakers. We're becoming Spanish speakers, but we're not native Spanish speakers. We didn't have the opportunity to become bilingual like our kids have, and so we are seeing, some of the great benefits that I'm sure you are all seeing. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So the Riverside's Arts Academy, most of our program is based on the research of Dr. Nina Kraus, who is a neuroscientist at Northwestern University. And the thrust of her research is about how sound influences the brain. So for example, she has done a lot of research about bilingualism and how that influences brain development. So of course she found that things like when you are bilingual, you become a mental juggler. You can handle a lot of things in your brain at one time, and so you end up with better focus in your brain. You're able to focus more clearly, and also you're able to pick out sounds, important sounds like voices in noisy environments. So there's things like that that are like these great aspects of being bilingual that don't directly have to do with knowing the language. So the exciting thing for Riverside Arts Academy is she has a huge branch of her research is about music. And she finds very similar evidence for brain development in kids who make music. So I'm just going to read you a couple of things that come from her research. She's found that making music and rhythm makes our kids stronger readers. I never thought about that exactly before, but when we make rhythms, when we speak, when we read, there are rhythms involved in that. So when we do music and learn how to do rhythms, we also become better readers. She also found that kids who make music have measurably different brain development than kids who do not make music, through brain analysis. Musicians have a better ability to hear speech in noisy environments. And this is also true when we are old and haven't made music in years. So if we are musicians as kids, even as we age and we have hearing loss, we are still better able to hear and discern voices in noisy environments. I thought that was fascinating. So anyway, I encourage you to check out her website. Her name is Nina Kraus, and she has a website called Brain Volts. I'll put a link in the chat later on to learn more about the many benefits of music. So we really have found that her research seems to be very true. And specifically, I wanted to talk about this 5 hours a week. So it says goal, 5 hours a week to change the brain. So what we have found is that when kids get to about 5 hours a week of actually making music, then we get to see these rewards, such as learning to listen, doing better in school, staying in school, making kids just be better all-around citizens. And we are very fortunate here at the Riverside Arts Academy to have developed a great relationship with RUSD. Anne-Marie Guzzi she wasn't able to be here tonight, but she's the director of arts for RUSD, and she has formed a partnership with us to try and offer 5 hours a week of music education for kids. Those of you who have your students in music will know that starting in about 4th grade, you should be able to have music through your kids' school. You can choose violin, or you can choose a band instrument, or maybe choir, depending on what your school offers. But even in the best case scenario, because of the amount of time that there is in school, your kids would only be able to get maybe 2 hours a week of music education. So that's where the partnership with Riverside Arts Academy comes in. So we have partnered with RUSD to try to provide the extra hours a week in order to get to this level of brain development that we're trying to shoot for. So we offer after school, Saturday morning, and summer programs for kids to do music that they're already doing in school. So we offer strings, band, mariachi, choir, percussion, and we also have, as I mentioned, we also have this after school Saturday mornings, and in the summers we have summer camps. I'll give you a little more detail about that later on. And because of this partnership with RUSD, right now students who are enrolled in their school's music program can do our program for free because RUSD is paying for it. In addition, we are a nonprofit. And so all of our low income families, all of our programming is free to our lower income families. So we're now nearing the end of our spring semester, and we will have our spring concert in just a couple of weeks. So we want to encourage everyone here to know about their opportunities going forward. We do have a summer program, and I'm going to put some links in here so you can look at those to see if you'd like to enroll in them. We will also be, of course, enrolling for the fall. So the main point I want to get across to everybody is that if your students are enrolled in their school's music program, then you can additionally take advantage of what the Riverside Arts Academy has to offer to really get to this higher level of music education. I believe Dr. Nove is here now. Are you here, Dr. Nove? Is he in? Is he in the waiting room? He says he's here.
Molly, it's Katrina. Can I say something real quick?
Yes, please.
I just wanted the parents to know that even though my daughter is involved in strings, plays the violin at school, she's in the choir with RAA. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be the exact same thing they're doing in school. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yes, thank you for that. Yes, we know also that some school sites don't offer all of the programs, and we want to be able to extend the music education for kids who don't have music at their schools or who don't have that same kind of music at their schools. Sorry, I'm just checking on Dr. Nove.
Yeah, Molly, please know that we do not have a wait room.
You don't? Okay.
No, we do not. So that parents can enter a lot easier.
Okay. So let's see. I need to see if I can find him. So let's talk about this while we do that. So this is our summer program, is going to be from July 5th through 29th. We offer music classes, as I've described, for band, strings, mariachi, choir, and percussion. But we're also going to be offering 2 new classes that we have never offered before. And these are for students who have not done music or have not done much music. So we have a music discovery class, and we're aiming this at 7 to 12-year-olds. Because what we find is that when students get to the 4th or 5th grade and they're able to pick an instrument, they haven't had any experience with instruments. So they don't know what they'd like to choose. So this class is designed for students to get a 2-week sort of intensive where they get to do hands-on trying all the different instruments. So they'll get time with strings, band instruments, percussion, and also just rudiments of music, brass as well, so that they'll get a good solid basic education. And then when they get to school, they'll be able to know what they'd like to choose. And then for our older students, middle school and high schoolers, we're doing Introduction to Songwriting and Recording. So for those who might like to get a little bit more into tech, this might be a good class for them. And this will be over 4 weeks, but only Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So 3 days a week for four weeks over the summer. The signups will be available soon. They haven't launched yet, but you can see our website there, which is where you will be able to enroll. And then on the right side, you can see all of the classes that we currently offer. Saturday classes, weekday after school classes, which at this point are all virtual, mostly all virtual. But we hope that in the fall we'll be able to offer everything in person again. And you can see the ones that have the asterisk. Oh, it's hard to see in this because it's kind of small, but those are the ones that are free for all RUSD students. And the ones that have the blue instrument are free for RUSD string students who are at Alcott, Castleview, Victoria, and Washington. So as you can see, a lot of these classes are free to all students, and all of these classes are free to our low-income students. Dr. Garcia, did you want to say something about your experience at BEST?
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Esther Garcia, and I'm the coordinator again of English Learner Services. And I had the opportunity to hear the mariachi group at our BEST Awards. Our BEST Awards are part of our CABE, the California Associations for Bilingual Education. And we have awards once a year for our bilingual community and our DLI community, and includes DLI for the entire county of Riverside. And so that event happened this past Friday, and the mariachi from our Riverside Arts Academy were there to play great songs. I have to say that I was truly, truly impressed with how well the students played all of the instruments, but not only played, they had singers singing some of the songs that our mariachi usually sings. And I just cannot praise this group enough, because the work they did was so professional. Even though they were children, it was so professional. The conductor was so professional, and the audience just went crazy about this group of children playing such great music for our event. So I want to give a sincere thank you to the Riverside Arts Academy for providing this wonderful music entertainment to our best awards, our CABE best awards, because it really engaged the audience, and it just set the whole ambience for a very happy event. So thank you so much, Megan, for providing this support to our best awards, and we hope to see you there again next year.
Absolutely. Yes, our academy is growing. We have had, many people who left the academy during the pandemic, and now we're really excited to see our classes growing, especially now that we're offering some new classes such as the mariachi ensemble, which I believe you're mentioning you got to see perform. And they are just very entertaining. It's a really entertaining group. So we're really excited to be able to offer these classes in conjunction with RUSD. I do see there's some questions in the chat, which we can take whenever you want us to take them. Ashley, I don't know when you'd like us to do that.
Sure, we can take one of the questions there. And I did notice that Dr. Nove has joined us. He's
Okay.
Listed here in the participants. If you'd
Okay,
like to
why don't we
maybe
let
give
him speak, and then we'll take those questions then.
That sounds good.
Okay. Could you go back to the first slide for Dr. Nove, please? One before. Thank you. Are you there, Nove?
I saw him on the participant list, so I'm not sure if he's having problems with his audio. He's listed there at the end.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, let me try to answer these questions while he tries to sort out his audio.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's a picture of him in case he never appears. There he is with the Riverside Youth Orchestra there. I see my daughter is in the 4th grade and won't be allowed to take band till next year. So can she enroll this summer to get a head start for next year? Oh, there's Dr. Nove. I think he's coming in now. The answer is yes. You can enroll this summer. Our general idea is for students who will be enrolled, and RUSD plans to be doing pre-enrollment also this spring to get students ready for the fall. So then you will be an engaged 4th grader and ready to go. Summer programs for 6-year-olds. At this time, we aren't offering classes at that young. So I'm sorry that we don't have anything at this point, but it is one of these spaces to watch because RUSD is working very hard to expand the music program deeper and also younger in the grades. And as they do that, we plan to expand with them. My daughter will be in 4th grade next school year. I did not see Mountain View. Can she still sign up? Yes, you can still sign up. Absolutely. We welcome students, any students who live in Riverside. You don't have to be an RUSD student. It's just that RUSD is paying for many of the RUSD students at this time. And so that's a nice opportunity. However, as I mentioned, if you qualify as low income, then you pay nothing. And if you don't qualify as low income, I can't remember what the prices are exactly, but it is a very reasonable rate for the semester. Okay.
Molly?
Yes.
Oh, I had a question about the programs. Are instruments provided, or are those things the students have to come up with from rentals?
Good question. We do have instruments. We provide instruments to anybody who needs an instrument. Most of our students come to us through RUSD or Alvord, and they already have an instrument provided from their school. However, the schools don't always have enough instruments for each student to take one home. So in that case, we are very fortunate to have a large collection of instruments which we can check out to students for the year at no cost.
Question, do you offer guitar too?
We do not offer guitar except for through the mariachi, the mariachi guitar. And the reason is because the city Parks and Recs already offers guitar. So we're leaving that to the city Parks and Recs.
Thank you.
Good questions. Are there any others? Okay, well, I think we better move on. It looks like Dr. Nove is just having a hard time with his audio, so I don't want to take up any more of your time. I will put a few links in the chat so that you can see this especially this information and know where to go. And we would really appreciate your support in spreading the word to other families that you may know who may especially those who may qualify for our program, those with students in these programs and lower income families, because that is our mission. That was what Dr. Nove was going to talk about. Is that our mission is to change the trajectory of lives through music. So we exist to provide low or no cost music education that's at a very high level for all students, regardless of income. So thank you very much for having us tonight. And if there's any more questions, I will monitor the chat.
Thank you so much, Molly, for presenting for RAA. And Dr. Nove, if he can hear us or if you happen to speak with him and he'd like a moment later on in the presentation to talk, we'd be more than happy to oblige. Okay, next slide, please, Esther.
Ashley, before we move on, I just want to announce to the audience that unfortunately, even though I have not given access to anyone, not even our board, access to this Zoom link, somebody seemed to have, someone have to seem to access. And so if you see those red lines, that's just not from us. So Ashley and the audience, if someone begins to behave poorly in our meeting, I have to say that I'm very, very sorry, but I will have to shut down immediately before they do something that we do not wish to see.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if you wanted to address that or not. I appreciate you bringing it up, and that's absolutely right. That's how we'll proceed.
Yes, thank you. It's happened to me once already with my DLAC group, and we did have to shut down. So now that we know the process, audience, I am really, really sorry this is happening. I hope it doesn't go any further, but please know that we will protect you and we will shut down immediately.
What a time to be alive. So the next presentation was from Patricia Thetford on footsteps to brilliance.
Good evening, everyone. I just have a little short information about footsteps to brilliance. As you know, Riverside County Office of Education, if we can go to the next screen so parents can start looking at the information, has an initiative of literacy by 5th grade. So what they are doing is that they purchase a program for all districts in Riverside County to support literacy outside the classroom or in the classroom if teachers choose to use this program. There's so much information about Footsteps to Brilliance. We've added the link there for more information for you, so you can go directly there. On the next screen, you will see that if you are interested in applying, the registration is very easy for your children to participate. I added the steps here. I'm not going to go through the steps, but if you go to that www link and then you can register, the registration is for free. All you have to use is your zip code, and then you select the school district, which would be Riverside Unified School District, and then you can register in English. or registrarse en español, or register in Spanish. And then you continue following the prompts to complete your child's registration. If you have more than one child, then it is recommended that you register each child. That way, each of your children have access to this platform. Footsteps to Brilliance allows the students to go through early language development through the different mobile apps. So you can use your phone, you can use an iPad, you can use your computer, the students can use their Chromebook. And this is for students in preschool through third grade curriculum. Now, it doesn't mean that if you have students who are at fourth, fifth, or sixth grade level, they can use this program as well. It's open to all students. The wonderful thing about this program, it has digital books, it has different games, it has writing activities. And the wonderful part of this is that it's both in English and in Spanish. I attended a training on Friday so I could learn about it, and I was really excited how students will have access to stories in both English and Spanish. The stories are the same for both languages. So they have translated the stories, but they've been very careful at translating the stories so they can accommodate the grade levels for each student. They are wonderful. And the wonderful thing about this is that next, if you could go to the next slide, it offers the students that opportunity. If you could switch to the next slide, Esther, it offers the students that opportunity to go from English and Spanish simultaneously. So if you wanted to hear the story in English, it would be available. It has questions, comprehension questions about the story. And then at the same link, the same area, you click on Spanish and it will take you directly to the Spanish story. It has great information for parents as well. So this is great for dual language development as the students are developing both languages. And how wonderful it would be for students not only to hear the story in Spanish, but then be able to hear the story in English, either that same time, that same day, or at a different day. So this is going to be available for all students. It is already available, and it's going to be available the rest of the school year through the summer and for the next 4 years. It's a free platform for all students. Do you have any questions? And this is a step to brilliance.
I have a question,
Yes.
Tricia. I didn't catch this, but is there an age range or a grade range that this program is targeted for?
It is targeted for preschool through third grade, but because of the possible gaps that there might be for some students in either reading or reading comprehension, it is available for your fourth, fifth, and sixth grade students as well. So even though your child might be reading really well in one language, but might need support in the other language, the student can go to the different levels to see where they're at, and they can read any story. Now, this platform doesn't have an initial placement test or assessment per se, like they do in Lexia or Imagine Español, but the students have access to all the different levels of the stories. Good question. Any other questions?
I have a question. Is this something that we need a login for, or is it something that teachers will provide through the Google Classroom, or how do we access it?
You can access the program right away. So if you go into the link that is provided on the slide deck, you can register your child right away. You don't have to wait for your teacher. So this is just, this platform has just started. So I know our teachers are starting to hear about it, the parents. That's why we wanted to present this to you during this meeting, because it gives you that opportunity to start right away. You don't have to wait for your teacher. It's something that, you can register your child for.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Great question. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment about this program. This is one of many programs that we offer our DLI students that for online learning. We have Rosetta Stone, as many of you know. We have Rosetta Stone Español in Spanish. We have RAS Kids with many, many, many great, wonderful books in Spanish. And we also have Imagine Español for our K2 students learning Spanish. So take advantage of programs like this, especially when they're free to RUSD, like Footsteps to Brilliance, and register your child. If you need access, because you can't access it through the presentation on the link that we provided, email me or email Mrs. Thetford, Patricia Thetford, and we will be more than happy to help you register for this wonderful program.
I want to mention that I'm trying to register my child, Esther, but it says that the information that I'm putting is not correct. I will need help on that, please, later. Thank you.
Yes, definitely, Ms. Oropesa. If you need help, I'm there for you, and then Mrs. Thetford will be there for you too. Just send us an email. We can set a little appointment for you to come into our office or for us to meet you somewhere, and we will be more than happy to help you register for this great program.
Thank you so much.
Esther, there's a question in the chat asking, as a parent, can we monitor progress in the program?
Yes, the program does have monitoring tools that can be accessible to the parents and to, of course, the teacher, the educator. If the parent is not able to access it, we can always go through the teachers or through Mrs. Thetford and myself.
Thank you.
If no more questions, we will move on to a DLI. Just a quick review, our upcoming events and our application. How well are we doing? We're actually doing very, very well with our application, our after window application. And in our fall application, we did very, very well with parents applying. So the fall application for students in grades 1st grade through 9th grade, we will be reviewing applications for these grades starting mid-April, which will be next week already, through mid-May. The reason we wait for the end of the school year is because we need to know how many spaces we will have available in grades 1st through 9th grade. We do have students, not too many parents, but we do have students whose parents moved out of our area or simply dropped from our program. We actually need to know how many spaces we have available or we will have available for these grades before accepting students. So I really appreciate your patience because I know you applied way back in November, December, and you're still waiting for a response from us. We will not have a response until the end of May. By mid-May, we will know how many spaces we'll have available, and we will notify the parents if their child has been accepted, and we will also notify the parent if you will be placed on the wait list. Acceptance in grades 1 through 9, again, is dependent on space availability. Any questions regarding our applications?
It looks like we have one, Esther. It's from Teresa. It says, I have to reapply for 1st grade. I think she's asking if she needs to reapply to the program from a kindergarten student going into 1st grade.
No, you do not have to reapply. We do look at our wait list, kindergarten wait list from the year before or this school year moving into first grade. And we also prioritize the wait list that we have from this year and the coming year. You do not have to apply. We will review all of the applications and all of the students on the wait list.
If your student is currently attending a DLI school and is a current kindergarten student, he will automatically go to first grade and continue participating in the DLI program.
Yes, you do not have to reapply each year. Thank you, Mrs. Thetford. You do not have to reapply each year, parents. The next updates will be on the translator certificate. I do have very exciting news about this. The IPT test that our children are taking, this is the test to measure their Spanish growth. Tutoring, state assessments, they are upon us now, the state required test, and the opening of Ramona High School in grade 9. The first one is the introduction to our English Spanish translator certificate. Parents, we are so excited to announce that we've actually created an entire course, a class that will be sustained year after year. We will not depend on a college like RCC or Moreno Valley Community College or any other community college. We will not be depending on them, because one of the things that does happen at the community college level is that if they do not have a professor to teach the class, our children would have ended up not being able to participate in this course. And the danger would have been that they would have not earned the translator certificate. The case right now is that RCC does not offer this class at all, and they were not very interested in starting a class. I completely understand with the pandemic and the shortage of teachers and professors and just all of the hoops that we now have to jump through. I can completely understand why RCC would not add this course. We tried going through Moreno Valley and they were more than happy to work with us, but they have not had a professor for the translation or interpreting certificate or certification for over a year, and they are still looking for a professor. So we did not want to risk the chances of a community college not offering the program or not having a professor. We tried very, very hard to go through our CTE program, but after looking at all of our resources and all of our options, Mrs. Thetford, whom I have to say has worked tirelessly on this project, and what we propose to the district is to create our own class. The reason this is important is because once we create a class, it will be sustainable year after year, especially when our single subject Spanish teachers will be the ones providing this course. That means we are never going to run out of teachers because we always have a Spanish teacher. And we will not run the risk of the college not having this program or our CTE also not having someone to teach it. So Mrs. Thetford and I actually wrote the course description for this class, and it was very, very positively accepted by all the committees that we had to take it through. Now the only one that we have to take it through is, of course, the Board of Education, but they know about it. They are very, very positive about us creating our own course for the translation certificate, and it will be ours for as long as we have DLI, which will be until we no longer have a public education in the United States, which of course will never happen. So we will have a Poly High School translation certificate from English to Spanish in grade 12. It will be now part of our DLI pathway, so it will be implemented permanently. Students will receive the translation certificate at the end of their 12th grade. And will be taught by one of our own Spanish teachers whom we will train ourselves on teaching this class with our translators from our district. The other best part about it is that we are proposing right now to include the interpreting part so that our DLI students can graduate with a translating/interpreting certificate. So I did tell you this was really good news. So Mrs. Stedford and I are working tirelessly to make this happen for our DLI students because we know how hard they have worked for 13 years on becoming bilingual and biliterate. So spread the word about joining our DLI program if parents haven't. Of course, we do have to have space. Any questions about our translating certificate program?
We do have some questions in the chat, Esther.
Okay, we can answer now or we can answer when we end. It's your choice, Ashley and Jackie.
Someone is asking if they could transfer, can we request a school transfer and remain in DLI?
The EO pathways, as we explained to the parents when we recruit, if you would like to be part of our DLI program and you are accepted, you are accepting the program K6 and then following onto the pathway onto the middle school and then onto the high school. You can request a transfer, of course, that is your right, but you will be placed on a waiting list. And if you are requesting one of our most popular schools, the waiting list is pretty long.
Okay, we have another question. Will incoming kindergartners be taking a Spanish English assessment test this spring or when school starts in August?
We will start this spring. It's something that Mrs. Thetford and I have been discussing at length as to when is the best time. And we feel that by starting this spring, we will be ready for our classes and our teachers will be ready to provide the kind of support that we need. Mrs. Thetford, you may chime in. We did discuss starting this spring, right?
Yes, as a matter of fact, if you go to the next slide, maybe we can answer that question for our parents.
Perfect. Yes.
So what we're doing right now during the spring is that we are assessing all kindergarten students and first grade students who are in the DLI program in all the school sites. So we are administering that IPT oral test. And what this test allows us to see is the language oral development of your child and their progress from one year to another. The kindergarten students were tested in the fall, and now they're being tested at the end of the year. So then you will be able to see their growth from the oral language development in English and in Spanish. Our first grade students were tested last year as kindergarten students at the end of the year. So they're being tested now at the end of the year. So every year after this, they will be tested at the end of the year. Kindergarten students only are tested twice in the beginning to help us with placement, and then towards the end of the year to see language growth. And of course, I did indicate that all students in kindergarten and first grade are being tested. We have our proctors who go to the site, and students are being tested in person. And then we will be able to see their oral proficiency level that can be from A through F. It's different levels. They can score A, B, C, D, E, F. And of course, all the scores mean something different, but just to give you just a short summary of it, if they score A in English or in Spanish, that means that they are at the beginning proficiency level of that language. If they score an F, then they are fluent in that language. They're proficient speakers at this point. The test does not go beyond F. So if your child scores at a level F, then they have reached the highest level in their oral test. But what I'm already seeing, because we're monitoring the test, then we can start seeing the growth of students. So we did start testing on March 14th, and the testing is going now. And we are going to conclude testing by May the 6th. So that way, parents, you will be able to see their scores on their report cards. And the part of the report card would be on the DLI addendum. That's what you will see the scores. And as you can see, we have over 1,000 tests to test. We have 584 students, and they're being tested twice. So we're quite busy.
Thank you, Patricia. There's also, is there a waiting list for kindergartners to join DLI?
We currently have a waiting list for Castleview and for Washington, and we are becoming very full at Jefferson. So the wait list for Jefferson will also start next week. We currently have space for DLI at Fremont, Longfellow, and Mountain View. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you. Just one more and then we can move on. What does a translation interpreting certificate mean? Does it translate to college credits or is it recognized elsewhere?
Sorry, my mouse is very sensitive. What the translation certificate means is that your child will be able to apply for jobs that require translation. Now, please understand that this is not a translation interpreting certification. A certification requires many more years of schooling. I believe it requires 4 to 5 years of schooling to be certified. There are many elements to becoming a translator interpreter. Certified translator interpreter. However, the certificate will allow your child to apply, for example, to the school districts who need translators and become part of a district family if they choose to. They can also apply to other companies, other programs that also require a translation certificate. So the benefits are great because your child will have employment opportunities upon graduation from high school.
And in addition, if your child is interested in continuing, then they can register, let's say, for example, at Riverside Community Hospital, the Moreno Valley campus, because they do provide additional courses there that if they are interested, or at the UCR extension, they also have a program there. So if this is something your child would like to continue, just keep in mind that this is an introductory course to translation, to English, Spanish translation, but they will be able to receive a certificate at the end of the year.
Hola, buenas tardes. Tengo una pregunta.
Sí.
Quiero saber si entendí bien. Mi hijo ya está en el 9 grado. ¿Él automáticamente ya está en este curso para agarrar el certificado o va a tener que inscribirse en clases para agarrar este certificado?
Muy buena.
Si tu hijo, if your child is already in the 9th grade right now in DLI, he is.
Su hijo ya.
I'm sorry.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, I'm answering in English. Do you want to translate her question, Lupe? Okay, parents, this parent asked if her child is in the 9th grade, will he be on track to earn the certificate, the translation certificate, or will he have to register for this certificate? Parents, if your child is already in the DLI program, They do not have to register for the certificate. They are on the DLI pathway to earn the certificate upon graduating from the 12th grade. You do not have to register for this certificate. It is part of their coursework.
What will happen is when your child goes into 12th grade, and you know that during the spring, students select their courses. So this is the course that they will be able to select when they are registering for their courses for that following year, but they cannot take this course until they're in 12th grade because that's part of the DLI pathway. Team, we have a 5 minutes.
I have a question.
remaining. Mhm.
I'm sorry. Can I ask?
Yes.
Okay. The certificate, it is going to be good only in the United States or out of here too? Also.
That is a very good question, Patricia. As far as I know, this certificate will only be good here in the United States. If you want this to be valid in another country, you will have to take it to the educational system of that country you want to take it to and see if they will accept it and validate it.
What about if the student continue and then go for the certification, going through the 4 years and get the certification? That certification, it is valid in another countries?
It will be, I'm sorry?
Yes, say.
Yes, it will be it will be the same scenario, Patricia. You will have to go through the Association of Translators at that country to see if it will be valid and they will accept it. It's just like a teacher certificate. When we when a teacher is recruited from a different country to come and teach a certain subject here in the United States, we do validate the education they received at their prior country. However, we do request, ask, and expect that they go through our own teaching certification here in the United States. So the teachers do have to go through extra coursework and to receive the credentials from the United States, and specifically in California. California is one of the strictest teaching certification states in our nation. So it's something that you would have to look into in the country of your choice to see if they would accept this certification.
Well explained. Thank you so much.
Looks like we have a few more questions in the chat. Should we hold these until the very end just so we can get through the rest of the slides?
Yes, please. The tutoring program is very, very short. Patricia, would you like to give them an update?
Yes, we started our tutoring program as of yesterday on Monday, and we are servicing second grade students. We have a few new tutors and some returning tutors. We have all our tutor supervisors who are returned, and our tutoring program will end for the year on May the 6th. So it's going very well. Thank you. And for those parents who were not able to have tutoring sessions due to the limited number of tutor volunteers, then we are providing access to Rosetta Stone in Spanish if they already don't have it. So parents can request that from us. Thank you. Next slide.
State test, parents, please know that our DLI students do take the state required test. Our DLI students are not exempt from the state test, especially the LPAC. If your child is an English learner, you cannot opt out of the LPAC, the English Language Proficiency Assessment for California. But the tests that have already started, are the CAS, the California Assessment of Students Performing in Grades. And this assessment assesses how well the students are learning the state standards, the Common Core state standards. The SBAC, most people know it as the SBAC. That's the overall umbrella. That's where the CASP, the LPAC, and other assessment live under. And the LPAC, as explained, this assessment is for English learners only, and parents cannot opt out of this assessment. This assessment begins in February and it will end at the end of May. The California Spanish Assessment, this is a wonderful test that we piloted 3 years ago. And we received very, very good information about the progress that our DLI students are making in learning Spanish, along with the state standards in Spanish. However, due to all of the disruption that COVID caused, we decided that this test would not be implemented last year or this year. But next year, we are crossing our fingers and we are very, very hopeful that we will implement it again with our DLI students, simply because of the great information it gave us about their progress in learning Spanish. Any questions about state tests?
Yes.
Ramona, hi. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
For Mountain View Elementary, the test it starts already or will start? When will it start?
The window for the LPAC, for the English Language Proficiency Assessment for English learners, it started in February. So we are almost done with it. And many schools are almost done with it, but it closes at the end of May. For the CASP, that one will be starting next week, and it also goes to the end of May. Schools do have a choice as to when to start the test. So I cannot tell you which schools have started yet or which ones have not, because I honestly do not monitor the progress of these assessments. I monitor the progress of the LPAC only because I'm the coordinator of English learners. And the California Spanish test, we are not giving it this year. So I'm sorry, Ms. Oropesa, I do not know if Mountain View already started.
It's okay, thank you. I was referring to CAST, that exam, but thank you. You answered well, thank you.
Ramona High School. Ramona High School is expanding to 9th grade next year. We are so excited that we will be having our second high school, DLI High School. So parents, we will be having a DLI parent meeting on Tuesday, April 19th. If your child attends Jefferson or Mountain View, they will be moving on to Sierra. If they are at Sierra, 8th grade right now, they will be moving on to Ramona High School. Ramona High School parent participation night will be on Tuesday, April 19th from 5 to 7. It will be an in-person meeting, so please join us to come and learn everything about Ramona and the wonderful, wonderful opportunities they will have to participate in the arts. Ramona is very well known for all of the art programs that they have. It will be held at the Ramona Cafeteria. Any questions? If no questions, our next meeting, Ms. Ashley, if you can announce our next meeting.
I'd be happy to do that. We still do have a few questions in the chat, though I know we are a few minutes over. I have written them down and we could maybe address them on our Facebook. What does the rest of the admin think about that? Or would you like to hear them now?
That would be up to the parents. If they can stay, if they would like to stay, we can answer questions. If they need to, leave the meeting, then they can do that as well.
Okay. Jackie, would you like to take over the questions?
Yes. One moment. Somebody's asking, iPhone user, my daughter who starts kindergarten in fall of 2023, can I add her to a waiting list for Castleview now?
No, unfortunately, we cannot add children who are in preschool or in TK right now. Parents, you will have to apply in the fall of this school year, actually. In fall of 2022, you can apply for our DLI program for the following year. Your child will automatically go into a wait list once you apply. And in between January and February, all applications are reviewed and we begin to accept children from the November, December application.
So if your child, so if your child is going to start on the fall of 23, 24, then you want to make sure that you apply during our first window, which is November 1st to December. And it's going to be this year.
Thank you, Patricia. We have Jasmine asking, who is the Title I coordinator? How can I contact them? Also, what can be done about the lack of DLI tutoring in the Hearts after school program?
For DLI questions, you can always contact me via email or via phone. Please, for any DLI questions, you can contact me, Esther Garcia, and my email will be at the end of this presentation. For any Hearts questions, please contact Mrs. Jen Dianda, Dr. Jen Dianda. She is actually the person in charge right now. Our coordinator was promoted to a different job at a different district, so she left us. However, if you have any questions regarding the after school program and I am able to answer it, please email me. I do not mind searching for the answer to make sure that you get the right answer that you need.
Okay, we have two more very quickly. Bianca's asking, will there be summer school this summer and how can we request for our children to be considered for summer school?
Yes, we will have summer school this school year for both non-DLI students and for DLI students. And for your child to be considered in for summer school, please contact your principal at your site. Principals will be selecting the students and will be creating the list of students. Our DLI program, our Mrs. Thetford and I do not select any of our students that participate in summer school.
And the last one, thank you, Esther, so much, and Patricia. The April 19th Ramona night, is it only for freshmen?
It is for freshmen. If any other parent is interested, because you know that in the future your child will be a Ramona Ram, please feel free to come. We are not limiting it only to incoming ninth graders. We welcome all parents interested in our DLI program at Ramona.
What time?
I believe it starts at 5. Yes, 5 to 7.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that might be it for questions. Oh wait, just kidding. There's one more. Jackie?
Yes, Esther, a question was raised about after school program for DLI from the last DLI meeting. I'm not sure what that means.
Yes, I don't know what they're asking. However, we will have summer school just for our DLI programs, our DLI students. They will have that opportunity. Please contact your school, work with your principal, let them know that you are interested in your child participating in our summer school program.
Thank you so much, Esther. Oh, sorry, Patricia, go ahead. No. Thank you so much, Esther, and thank you, Jackie, for fielding those questions. Before we go, our very last meeting will be next month. It is the second Tuesday of, there we go, May 10th, sorry. What month is this? May 10th, 2022, same Zoom link, same bat channel. We will be here, our last meeting. Next slide, please. I'm Ashley Peak, Somos DLI president. There's my email address if you have any questions for me. Esther Garcia, she's put her information in the chat, but if you need it again, it's here. She is our DLI coordinator. She can field any more of your questions about after-school programs or availability of other resources. We also have a RUSD Somos DLI email address if you'd like to contact us there. Or our Google site. You can, I believe, leave messages on the site. You can access recordings from these meetings as well as slide decks. And last but not least, if you want more information or more community, we have our Facebook group and the link for that is here. You can also search RUSD Somos DLI. You can search my name. You'll find it under all of those things. And we thank all of you for coming and staying with us tonight, being a part of this meeting and this community. And thank you so much, especially to Esther Garcia and Patricia Thetford and Jackie Murillo and our translator, whose name I'm forgetting, who's on the other channel. Thank you so much for your participation.
Yes, Ms. Lupe Aguilera, she is our wonderful translator. Thank you, Lupe, for being here.
Thank you, everyone. That's it for us.
Thank you, Ashley.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a great evening. I will close this as soon as I see almost no one on board.
Esther, would you like to stop recording?
Esther, I'm going to send you an email about the ELAC meeting.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.